My mom came into the room and woke us up. My sister, 2 brothers, and I had been fast asleep and not expecting to see my mom until the morning. And the 4 of us kids were spending the night at her friend's house. We each had a paper bag of clothes that we had packed for the night, and Mom told us to load them and ourselves into the station wagon. We proceeded to leave New Mexico and my father behind as we drove out to California. I was 5 years old. My dad followed us out soon after, and my parents finalized their divorce. My siblings and I would go to my dad's every other weekend for the divorce settlement until my dad moved back to New York, where his parents and siblings lived, leaving my siblings and I practically without a father. My mom worked a lot in order to provide for us, which left my brothers and sister and I alone a lot. There are a lot of things that a boy is supposed to learn from a dad. How to throw a ball, hit a ball, catch a ball, basically play baseball or other sports. How to treat a girl, how to make good choices, and how to be a leader. Without a dad around, I kind of had to figure all that stuff out by myself. Usually the hard way. I didn't make the high school baseball team. I started playing in junior high, which was pretty late compared to the other boys that had been playing since T-ball. I almost made it. I was one of the last 2 out of 50 boys to get cut, and that was a tough experience. I got through high school and on into college. My wife and I were married and started having kids while still finishing up college. I remember driving to school one day thinking, I have no idea how to be a good husband or father. I was lamenting growing up without an example, without someone to model for me what it was to be an adult man with a family. I was feeling pretty sorry for myself, thinking, why, God, did you let me grow up without a dad in my life? I missed out on so much. Then God gently showed me my life from a little different perspective. By the time I had reached college, I had pretty much gotten over getting cut from the high school baseball team, and I enjoyed my fallback plan of swimming and water polo immensely. You can see I was looking pretty good. And God reminded me of the bad influence that the baseball players would have been to me. There was a lot of alcohol and sex and drugs going around on that team, and God spared me from that influence by cutting me. And I really excelled in water sports, and I'm thankful for that experience. I even saw my family from a different perspective. My mom and dad were Mormon before the divorce, and even after the divorce, and the Mormon church had turned their back on my mom, I still wanted to be Mormon because my dad was Mormon. I hated going to the Catholic church that one of my mom's boyfriends made us go to. All that standing up and sitting down and reciting and scratching clothes. Anyway, God used the divorce to allow me to find out who Jesus was and what he had done for me clearly without the influence of any other book but the Bible. And in junior high, I met my Savior and put my faith in Jesus Christ. As I look back with this different perspective, I could see that God had acted as my Father throughout my life. He had protected me from so many influences that could have destroyed my life. He led me to a saving knowledge of Jesus. He provided me with so much paternal care. At that moment, as I was driving to class, I felt a kind of love from God that I hadn't felt before. A fatherly love and a peace that he would always be my Father, that he always was my Father, and that he would never leave me.